Hello. I wanted to do a Q&A video based on the comments that I got under my last gig log, which is called White Americano DJ Does Another Quinceañera, and I speak next to no Spanish. I got a lot of good comments and questions here that I wanted to address. But first thing I wanted to talk about was, what is a quinceañera? Because a lot of people don't know. This is a birthday party for a 15-year-old girl in Latin cultures. It's kind of like a debutante's ball. It's very similar to a bar mitzvah, where in that case, a 13-year-old boy is going from childhood to manhood. In this case, a 15-year-old girl is going from childhood to womanhood. Way, way back, it was kind of to introduce her to the marriage pool. Today, it's just a party. It's a fun party. And it's very popular in the USA right now. I know in parts of Mexico, it's not as popular as it used to be. And it's the same thing with like Puerto Rico and other Latin countries. They do them, or they used to do them, but maybe not as big as they used to be. But in America, it's interesting because it's become a lot like a bar mitzvah, where it's to show the family's wealth. So they want to go bigger and better than the last quinceañera. So they're a lot of fun, but they're very demanding. In a lot of cases, more demanding than the same family would think of a wedding. There's a lot of pressure on this. And unfortunately, when it comes to the family stressing out, some of that stress, I guess, gets projected onto me and I get stressed out. But they mean no harm. This is just a very big deal to the family. And yeah, their stress projects onto me, and then I get stressed. I have to tell myself, I know what I'm doing. We got this, we got this, we got this. This one went overtime. I went over 7 hours. I went 7.5 hours this time, which is a long time. So anyway, let's jump into this. Joe says, dude, super awesome. A quinceañera and even a Mexican wedding are a lot of work. I hear ya. I know I'm going to be there a while. My body hurts the next day. Yeah, well, I was pretty sore that night, but I'm pretty proud of myself because I got some rest and I got up and I did Father's Day on Sunday. And I did it all right. I'm a little tired today, though. It's Monday. Over 7 hours, much respect. Mando Gonzalez says, for any quinceañera, I recommend Peyoso de Rodeo, a Mexican line dance song. If you don't know that song and you ever have any kind of Mexican or Mexican American crowd in front of you, know it. It's a great line dance. It's really fast. It sounds like American country western music. It's really good though. And you can also combine that with No Rampas Mas, which is also kind of a Mexican country song. And it's basically just Achy Breaky Heart in Spanish. Those are big ones at any Mexican American event that I do. A lot of fun. Quinceañeras are demanding and take so much out of you, just draining. A lot of tradition here. You want to get it right. They do this thing where they exchange like the girl's doll for high heel shoes. The dad does that. It's very emotional. There are dances with the father, sometimes the mother, sometimes grandparents. They also do these choreographed dances with the quinceañera court. It's like a wedding court. They hire a choreographer to teach them these dances, and they have special mixes that they have for these dances. The one we did, well, one of them we did was like 8 minutes long. The first one, because we did two, they had one that was a surprise dance, and one that was just a regular one. The first one was just an edit of Beauty and the Beast, and the second one was a mix of tunes that lasted over 8 minutes long, and they did a really good job. The kids did a nice job with this, but they're very demanding. Blanca needs to get you caught up on speaking Spanish. Spanish 101 ASAP. It's Edwin Hernandez. Here's the deal. I can ask where the bathroom is. I can usually have a very small pidgin Spanish conversation with my mother-in-law who speaks no English. But Puerto Rican Spanish, Blanca, my wife is Puerto Rican by the way, it's very, very fast. And I can't comprehend it. I can't suck it in. It's not rubbing off on me. She's speaking Spanish on the phone all the time. She's speaking Spanish to her kids. And I'm not picking it up because it's so fast. If I'm hanging around Mexicans for a while, their Spanish is usually a lot slower, smoother, it's rhythmic. And I pick it up really fast and I can usually speak it. Within a couple hours of being around these folks, I know what they're saying to me. And they're a lot more patient than Blanca is with me, by the way. And she says that I should just give up and not even try to speak Spanish because it's so terrible. I should just speak English. So I've tried. Edwin, I've tried. I still try. I haven't given up yet. But I still know when she's talking about me on the phone. I know it. She thinks I don't, but I do. Don't tell her. Mexican music is full of good music, even Mexican country. Absolutely. So many genres. I'm always learning new things. I've got a folder that's like the best of the best stuff. But then I'm always learning new stuff and adding to the folder when it comes to the music of Mexico. I've done one. I'm sticking to weddings. That's Jimmy De Palma. Yeah, you know what? That's a good idea. I tell people up front whenever they book me, look, just so you know, all right? I don't speak Spanish. I'm pretty good at salsa, merengue, bachata. I am learning the other genres, but I'm not the best Latin music DJ you could hire, unless you want to have a salsa party, and then you could do a lot worse because I do well with that. How did you know what Latin songs to play? Well, a long time ago, I used to dance salsa, merengue, bachata. I go to the Latin clubs because they were a lot more fun as a single guy to go to than a regular club, because the regular clubs are about hookups. The Latin clubs back then seemed to be more about just the dance. And so you'd have a couple in there, married couple. The wife would dance with you, and the husband wouldn't get jealous because it's just about the dance. I met Blanca at a Latin club almost 20 years ago. And in going and dancing and all of this, I had my favorite songs, but I also learned really fast that you didn't have to know the song specifically to dance to it. It was just about the beat. So I started DJing salsa, merengue, and bachata by ear. And along the way, I learned some cumbia too, which is more traditionally Mexican. The other stuff, I'm learning as I go. Promo Only has a great Latin series. They're very helpful on getting the music to me, so I have it. I just may not know the song. If somebody requests something, I usually ask them to write it down so I can read it, type it into the search, and pull it. And most of the time with that music, yeah, it's also about the beat. But there are favorites, and you need to know what the favorites are. So it's always a learning process. I'm always learning more things, just like I do with any other genre, but specifically this one. And yeah, the music of Mexico is very rich, as we talked about before. TJ the DJ says, funny description, good job. He's talking about the title of the video where I say white Americano does another quinceañera. I had somebody on Facebook where I posted a link to this video almost get offended. They were saying, why does it matter if you're white? This person is British, by the way, and they are white. I just want to explain this so everybody understands. Now, anybody who commented on this video so far who's Latino got it. They knew why I put it there. And the reason is because somebody like my mother-in-law, for instance, when she describes me to other people, she describes me as Americano. What she means by that is that I am an American who speaks English who's white. Anybody who she says this to knows this is what she means. But technically, anybody who is American is Americano. Really? I mean, no matter what language you speak, no matter what color you are, or what your culture is, if you're an American, you're an Americano. So I'm thinking that when a Latino reads this, they're going to see Americano and know exactly what that means. Same thing my mother-in-law means when she's describing me to someone. But anybody else, they would lose the context. So it was more for the rest of you than the Latinos. They already got it. So anyway, that is my Q&A video. And if you have any more questions or comments or anything else, please let us know in the comment section, and I'll do my best to address them. In the meantime, I've got a weekend off coming up. It's my grandson's birthday, having his second birthday. Looking forward to that. I got a gig log to prep. I got a gig to prep for the following week, so I'd like to get on a little early because I got company coming to town next week, and I want to do some fun stuff, and I don't want to be in gig prep all week for that. It is ceremony and reception, not just reception. So that might be a little bit of work. But anyway, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you a lot for checking these videos out. Just know that. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. I turn this camera off. I guess the quinceañera's catching up to me and I'm getting kind of tired. So practice and enjoy.